Hello everyone, welcome back to Manufactoria 2022. We're partway through implementing Fusion Tender, the final puzzle in the game where you're supposed to add together two binary numbers. And we've implemented in the last episode, well first of all, we spent like 20 minutes of the last episode just sort of like talking about, I don't know. Some of the time was spent looking over this crazy diagram I built. Here, we'll bring it back up again actually. Here's my janky diagram. That's what I labeled the OBS input source, janky diagram. Oh no, now you guys know my username on my computer. I have the crossword open, just whatever, doesn't matter. Yeah, so we've implemented some stuff. We have the start, and we implemented several of these nodes. We realized this diagram isn't quite correct. We can't share the erase yellow state. But I handled this one, and I think this one. We handled blue to blue, and we like have these covered, but not the places they go to. So we're getting there. Bring me back. Manufactoria. Okay. And I'm still a little nervous about space. I'm doing this without any thought to how it's like laid out, and I hope that I can continue to do so. That's not true. I did think about where I wanted the like red-blue and blue-red parts of the factory. So suppose that what I wanted to do next was suppose that I read a blue and a red in some order at the ends of the first two numbers. That's these two nodes both mean that. What am I meant to do in such a case, according to my diagram? Again, I'm not showing you guys the diagram just because I don't really have it set up to make that ergonomical. I'd be happy to show you what I'm looking at if I had made it easy, but I haven't. Because this is not like my typical recording setup. Usually it's just like the game window, right? So, okay, if I read a red and a blue, or a blue and a red, I should append a red and then go back to the start. Yes, that makes sense. And I should refer to this to see what does it mean to append a red and go back to the start. Well, it's fairly simple, right? I'm going to copy this. What in the world? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm going to copy that and put it like here, but color flipped. There you go. Easy. Done. Almost. So now, I believe we have handled all inputs where you never have to carry. So that's an exciting thing to test, isn't it? We could test blue, red, blue, red, blue, plus red, red, blue, blue. No carries there because this is sort of equivalent to putting a blue here, right? We're starting from the right, and so none of the reds kind of line up with each other. But I'm making the left one shorter to make clear we can handle inputs of different lengths. And also, I'm making sure the last zero lines up with a zero so that we can handle outputting ones and outputting zeros. So I believe, in this case, the output should be 1110. So let's see what this looks like. How does this behave? We go through the first number, and eventually we're going to strip out a 0 and come up here. Nope. What? Am I crazy? That's not what was supposed to happen. Oh no, I did something messed up here. I didn't... the bottom of this isn't symmetrical with this side. I like don't have I don't have this. That's quite important. When did that happen? Was it just now or a while ago? Okay, it's been wrong like the whole time. Got it. So, we have to fix that. How does one do such a thing? Scoot up, please. And if we have to, we can make more room up here. It's fine. There's plenty of ways to do that. Take this and rotate it left a bit, you know, whatever. So what we need is like, I think, everything kind of from here is a conceptual unit. And I need this kind of color swapped, but I think it's not, it's gonna have to be more than that. Well, red goes back to here. Actually, maybe this is right, yeah. No. It needs to be, don't do that to it. Don't do that either? There we go. No, don't. There you go. Mirror it. So now you get a blue, you write back the red you were hanging on to, and then go back to the blue half. So that's better. Okay. You know, I can lay this out a little bit better. Grab all this and push it a bit further right, so that in the more common case that this stuff is happening, we don't have to go one more. I don't have to go as far right. Okay, so now, hopefully, maybe, we've handled the case where the inputs don't have any ones in corresponding positions, i.e. they do not carry. Let's see how that goes. It's the button's broken again. It was working for a while. So bring me to here, or actually to here? Okay. Wait, that's not right. The first number should be 0, ends with 0, so we're gonna go up here. And then we're also, okay, so we're gonna get to like here and have stripped, we'll have 0, 1 and 1, 1, 0. And we'll have written a single 0 out. Perfect. That's what was supposed to happen. We already tested that this works, but now look at that, it still works. Now we're going in, we're adding 0, 1 with 1, 1, 0. At the end of that, we should have remaining 0 plus 1, 1, and we'll be carrying. Wait, am I outputting at the right place in the output? I'm not, am I? I should be writing, well, maybe I am. I should be writing to the front of the output, because while I took these numbers from, no, wait. Is that right? Yes, because I want to write in front of the stuff that's already there. I took these numbers from the back of the input numbers. They're kind of the lowest significant bits that I have not yet processed. of the inputs, but they're the highest significant. They're right above all the significant bits that I already did process. So is this 1 going to wind up in the right place? Let's try and test... not guess. Let's try and tell this for ourselves first. I think the answer is no. Right? Oh, also this is all laid out wrong still. I didn't adjust what's down here for the move that I made up top. So we're... Actually, you know what? I think I have to go more right anyway to fit in the yellow and red stampers. Because the red stamper's not supposed to be here. That's at the end of the output. All this work I did of moving the thing is wrong. I'm supposed to replace the yellow that I just read that divides the second number from the output. And immediately after that, write a red. So all of this was silly. So give me this back. And I actually want to be coming through this spot. I write a red, then a yellow, then I copy a yellow, then a red, then I copy the rest. Okay. So test. Now the button works again. Test until, let's see. The left input will be... I'm already lost. We'll have stripped off the bottom 0. The left input will have been red, and the right will have been blue. That should be here. So run me till I get here. The click button doesn't work? It never goes there? Oh. Okay. Oh, what? No, this is fine, right? Okay, try. What am I confused about? All right, run me the test until we go back through the loop once. Okay, it went way farther than I thought it would. Oh god, I'm so messed up. Okay. Let's test a simpler input so that I can... Yeah, let's do that. Let's test blue plus red. Now the button's broken. So what should happen is we go up here for the blue. We come out here for the red, right? Yeah. And then we write a red to the output. And now we're saying add nothing and nothing. You've got a 1 so far. And this is just going to go straight to the output. It's going to copy a red and then go to the output. Okay, so that's good. So what the heck was wrong with my original thinking? Because I don't think it was doing what it was supposed to do. So let's put a red-blue here, right? Plus blue? Have I handled this case? I think so. So it should strip both blues and write a blue. Okay, the next time you get here, please. It stripped both blues and wrote a blue, and then it said, oh, there was a red, and the right input was empty. Uh-oh, wait, that doesn't seem right. Oh no, it was right. The left input was empty, and the right input was empty, and the left wasn't. So what happened? No, shouldn't it have gone out here? Out the bottom? It consumed the red that was the lowest digit on the left on the way in. Then a yellow. Then it replaces the yellow. And it looks for something. It sees, oh, it's yellow. Wait a minute. What the hell is this? What? Is this the same as what I built up here? It doesn't seem right. Oh, it isn't right, because we're supposed to do something different if we run out here. I think. Because it certainly should not be re-entering this. That's insane. It should be going straight to here. The kind of first scanner yeah, something's not right about this. Is this one right? No. Well, wait, yes, because I come in here, and if the first thing I read is yellow, I leave the loop immediately. Ah, this... is that true? This is kind of like... Okay, this is our 5x3 copying area. And what's going on down here is like the 5x3 copying area is here, right? So, what the hell is this scanner? This doesn't make any damn sense. And what is with this copy? Why are we copying reds until... okay. And what is this? It's nothing. I think we could scoot all this back up one a bit and save me some consternation space-wise. I have to delete this. Grab all this and move it up one so it still fits. Then I can delete that and move all this up one. Okay. Now we're writing this yellow and getting into our main copy loop in the right place. And if we see another yellow, we immediately leave. All right, so let's test that input again. Button works. I can't see what's going on up there, but good thing is it won't matter. We already know we successfully got, I think, a 0 in the output. Yeah. And now we add a 1 to nothing, which takes us down here. And we say, oh, look at that. The right input is empty. And I'm carrying a 1. So let's just copy twice. Oh, did I... Right. Maybe I'm... I have to keep checking, like, am I actually recording with OBS? I told you my, like, window arrangement is all weird so that I can play in a larger window than I usually do. And it's like, I can't see the OBS timer, and I'm constantly like, have I been going this whole time without recording? No, I haven't. Okay, phew. Okay, so... I remember up here, I intentionally, like, added this 0 at the end because it was weird. Something weird was happening when I tried to do it before writing. But isn't before writing exactly the place to do it? Apparently not, because... Well, okay. Because I tried it before and it didn't work. But maybe I'm supposed to write it, like, between these two, and I just, like, didn't count it out properly, and got away with it because what I was writing was a 0 and not a 1. So let's think it through. We've carried over a digit, in this case a 1, but the same thing will apply up there. From... Yeah, let's zoom in more. Oh, it's so nice. We've carried over a 1 from the top. And we've replaced the yellow, marking the end of the first number. Great. And then we've looked at the second number and found that it's empty. We're now pointing at the beginning of the output. Isn't this exactly where I should put my red? Like, why was it not correct to put a red and then go here? That seems like exactly what I want to do. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that, and if it ends up working, I'll maybe try and fold this case together with this case, and likewise up here. But that can be in the future. For now, we're just going to do the very simple thing of grabbing this, moving it down, and putting a red stamper here. So when we get here... Okay, that's after it wrote the red, I guess, right? Yeah. It writes a red, copies whatever was left in the output to go behind that red. So that was copying the output. Now it's copying the first number. Okay, I think maybe I see the problem. The problem is that whatever is left over in the first number is, like, correctly being left alone, sort of, in front of the output. But then we don't read through it to get the tape pointing to the right part of the output. So we're producing the right output, but, like, rotated, I think. So somewhere in here, we have to add another yellow so that we can scan through the tape again to get back to the right place, the right marker on it. And where would that be? Well, it would be at the beginning of the output, right? And the beginning of the output is right before I wrote this. So, outrageous as it is, I think what I want to do is that. Write an extra yellow. Not just this. More than this. Oh, it was so nice that Z just made a conveyor belt instead of mirroring the thing I had selected. Oh, I love that. That's what the shift button is for. So you don't make that mistake again. Okay. So now doing this 3 times, like, sucks the big one. But I think the old solution would have failed if there were like, if the input were 1, 1, 0 plus 0. So we run to here and we've discovered, oh, okay. The output contains a 0. The second number is empty. And I'm carrying kind of in my head a 1 from the left input, which still has yet another 1 in it. So I write the 1 I was carrying in my head at the beginning of the output, and then I copy the rest of the output. Then I copy the rest of the first number. And then I erase the extras plus... Oh, this came out fucking wrong anyway. God, I hate this game. Okay, why... One. So the result of this is that we get a 0 to the output, and we're adding 1, 1 plus nothing, right? That much at least works. Run me till the next time you get here. No, that's in reverse. Run me till you get here. Okay. And indeed, we have the problem now of add 1, 1 plus nothing, and there's a 0 at the end of the output. So what should I do in that case? I copy that 1, and I read the last 1 from the first input and replace its marker. Now I get here and I discover, oh gosh, the second number is empty. What should I do? I should write a 1 here. And then copy stuff to come after it. I think I see what's wrong. I think I wrote this extra yellow in the wrong place. I don't want it to come right before the number that I just wrote, because this yellow represents what I want to be the end of the tape, basically, right? This extra yellow that I'm writing. And I want the end of the tape to come after all of the output that we've already written. So really, I should have put it, oops, here. Okay. Now I write this red and I copy, and I have 1, 0 in the output, which is what I wanted. And I've got this 1 here, which I just want to put in front. So can I succeed in doing that for a change? Okay. Everyone, pour yourself your favorite alcoholic beverage. We did something right. All right. So now I think I see, like, first of all, how I can reuse these 6 scanners and stampers, just because I'm going to have to do the exact same thing up here, the fix that I just made on the bottom. And both of them want to go into this node, which is the same as this node. Right? So, I think I once again reposition this shit. I grab this and move it further right. So that it's easy to get there from here. And I don't need to worry about the fact that it's making my layout over here pretty sloppy, because I don't need this part of the factory anymore. All the interesting stuff I'm going to do over here is done. The rest is all going here, and I can just move what I have over to the right as much as will fit. So, give me, please, a pipe here, and a pipe here, making the layout unbelievably gross. And you, none of that shit's happening anymore. Ah. In fact, even this can be copied, can be shared. Not with the original input going to the... Not with, like, the left input is empty. Left just wants to go to here. But this is what you do when the right input is empty, regardless of what you wrote to it. So I want one of these. Oh my god, you can click and drag while you are carrying something. It's amazing. Oh, no, don't do that. Like, if it would fit, I could do this, but it doesn't really. So where exactly can I put this? Do I have to scoot things over again? Or can I fit it somewhere? I don't think I can fit it anywhere. Well, I guess what I can do is put it here, and instead of this pipe and this pipe, I can come at it from this side. And so in this case, this is horrible for time, but I like scanners and stampers more than time. And I don't want to have to remember how to deduplicate later. So we come through here. You know what? I am going to grab this and scoot it over. There you go. And you are going to do the same thing as red, which is you're going to write a blue and then join up here. Okay, it suddenly went from a beautiful symmetrical mirror to like spaghetti that fell on the floor, but all right, it's great. So now if I run this test, for example, it still passes, right? Oh, actually, how about the first time you get to here? Yeah, so that's cool. And if we change the input so that it's like 0 plus 110, I think it should do the same thing, because we now have blue handling this going to here as well, right? Oh, fuck. The run test button didn't work. Uh-oh, it never goes to here. I right-click here and it's not going, so something went wrong. Because that's where it should have ended, I think. Oh, right, when the first one is shorter, it just goes through here. Perfect. Okay, so that's also correct, but I want to test this path. What does this path represent? It represents the left number being longer, but ending with... No. But having the last remaining digit before a the first digit without a counterpart being blue. So this would be, for example, red, blue, red plus red. That should get us to here. Nope, it doesn't. Well, let's find out. Oh, because I can't put a red here because I haven't implemented carrying yet. Now it goes there. Okay. Okay. So we have a half adder now, right? We have a factory that handles all inputs where you never need to carry. And I think we've tested them reasonably thoroughly. That's another great celebratory moment. I'm taking a shot. All right. So we just have carrying left, which obviously is kind of the hard part, but this was not easy either. And I drew out the diagram for carrying, so how hard can it be, right? I've only got, like, this to do again. Alright, so let's first take this and shove it... Oh, I thought I grabbed everything. And shove it over here. So I have plenty of space to work with over here for carrying. I don't think I'll need a lot of it, but sure, why not? And remember, this is the transition into the carry state, and the transition out is here, I think. Maybe I want to scoot this a little further down and have a conveyor belt way in, I'm not sure. So, what do I do if I saw a red in my little diagram here? I saw a red, and then a red. Well, I follow the logic of appending a blue, which I've implemented before somewhere. And I think it's here? Yes. It's copy everything until the next, write a yellow, copy till the next yellow, and write a blue, and then enter your loop. So we can do that. Write a yellow. Copy everything. And write a red. And then enter the carrying loop, which apparently is going to start about here. And the carrying loop is going to look a lot like this. Is this right? Why does this not seem right? At this case, okay, how did we get here? We read the end of the second number. Yeah, this doesn't seem right. Is this blue in the wrong place? Did I just get away with it because zeros in the wrong place don't have as much of an impact? Because I just finished reading the second number, and I replaced it yellow, which means I'm now writing to the front of the output. And that's exactly where I want my 1 to go. I shouldn't copy the rest of the output first. That would be crazy. And likewise here, yeah? This blue should be here. But before I move it, I want to construct a test case that proves me correct. How would I determine that this is a problem? I would have to add a 0 into the output when there's already a 1 in it. Right? So, what would do that? Well, 0, 1 plus 0, 0 would do it, right? We'd write a 1. And then we'd copy a 0, and my hypothesis is that this will be wrong. We'll say 1 plus 0 is 2. So run this test. Okay, run it the hard way if you want. And in the first case, we're going to go through, like, the red area. We're going to come out here, right? Or... I don't even know how we get here anymore. Through this? Yeah, okay. Okay, so what am I saying now? Add 0 and 0, and there's a 1 at the end of the answer. Perfect. That's what I was hoping to ask. Yes, that is backwards. Okay, good. Now I can move this and not worry that I messed something up. I proved why it was wrong. Okay, so when we took a shot before for having correctly implemented all no-carry addition, that was wrong. So take another shot, please. Yeah, I just invented the Manufactoria drinking game. Okay. Now, back to down here. This is wrong for the same reason this was, and that's what triggered me into this being wrong in the first place. So... that's what I actually meant. And we could save some horizontal space by, like, routing this down or something, whatever. I think we have plenty of space. And we appended a red. And we're now meant to go to our start state. And what does our start state do? It copies. It does this. Where is the input? Here it is. This is the way into this factory. All right. A little nervous about how much space I have down here. Yeah, because I definitely don't have space for another one of these, which I think I need. Oh, I actually kind of don't. Sort of. Right. Because I only need, in the entire remainder of the factory, one more of these kind of 5x3 blocks. And this 5x3 block. After this one. Because if I read a blue here, yes, here we go. So this wants to be color flipped. So that oh, hang on. I need a little bit of space here. I think. No, I don't. Because I never enter that state. I never go to start carry, except at the end of a carry operation. And the carry operations all end with appending something. Ah, but they don't all append red. So I guess what I need actually is something more like this. This is the copy everything part. Oh, hang on. Do I need to add another yellow here? I must. Yeah, because, okay, I've read one and replaced one. Red one and replaced one, red another. Okay, so I need to replace the yellow on my way in here. So what I want is another way into this node, where I'm writing a blue because I came from the other half of the carry factory. Wait a minute. This one's supposed to be blue. I might need a red, though, in the future. Okay, whew. But I don't ever need a way to go in here without writing a yellow. I just need a way to write either a red or a blue, and then copy the rest of the output, and then re-enter. So, if, however, the first digit I see after reading a carry is blue, the last digit, rather, is blue, I can re-enter the non-carry part of the factory for digit 2. And this is going to be when I restart the carry loop with a total of 3. This is entering... You can only enter the carry loop from the non-carry factory with a total of at most 2, because you had no carry, right? And a 2 writes a 0. But if we had a 3, we need to write a 1, and then enter the carry part. Okay. So this is fine. This is, like, done. Although, as I look at it now, I'm like, wait a minute, I need all my space up here, don't I? So what I'm going to do is not that. What instead I shall do is uncolor flip this, so that the blue comes out here. And I want to get to here, but it's not so easy. I mean, it is easy. I can just scoot everything over by 1 and add another pipe, but I was hoping to avoid another pipe. Can I do that? Not really, because I need another way to enter this node. So I can't just turn it into a pipe. Alright, fine. You got me. There you go. I'm like, oh, okay, I haven't been muted all this time. Great. I'm glad I didn't try to push through in the last episode. So now we've handled carrying with where the first digit starts with 0, ends with 0. First number ends with 0. If it ends with a 1, we have this big old carry thing to do. But before that, I want to see, what am I supposed to do exactly if the first one is yellow? I think I just go down to here, right? My notes say I should treat that the same as there being a blue, and come here. And I think in both cases, I can pretend I consumed a blue, And the last thing I read is a yellow, so I think I can just do that. And so that's another state handled, kind of. And the only thing left to do in this part of the factory is to implement Carrie's version of reading the second number. Which is simple enough. Give me one of these. No, one of these. And go like that. Which direction do I want this facing? I guess it doesn't... I kind of want them both to come out over here, but that's not so easy. I want one of them to come in here, actually, and I can't do that. Well, no, I want one of them to come here and one here. And I can do that by making this a pipe. Okay. So if we read a red followed by a red, we need to get to this node, which is convenient because I can do that. If I got a red and a red, I need to append a red, which is just go here, right? Done. If I get a red, then a blue, I need to make it back to this node. But before I do that, what am I supposed to do in this case? If I had a carry, I got a 1, and this is yellow. I think the same thing as if it was blue, right? Yeah. Because I had 2 1s, so I'm carrying over a total of 2. But I didn't actually find a 0 in the second number. I'm just going to pretend I consumed it. So these two actually go to the same place, and that place is right here. Okay, take another shot. We're done? Question mark? The most optimistic drinking game you've ever played? You know, the teacher looks at your homework page, and there's numbers on it. He must have gotten it right. Okay, first sanity check. Are there scanners that point off into empty space? I don't see any. And I think this was correct. I'm sure I'll be proven wrong somehow. But let's test the simplest possible input we could. Red, 1 plus 1, right? How does this behave? I could just run the tests and it could tell me what I'm wrong about, but I kind of want... I like the principle of starting from simple. Okay, so I wrote a 0. I'm already worried about what's going to happen if the first number is empty. No, it's going to go over here. It's going to be fine. It said, oh, there was nothing to add on. I'm carrying a 1, but the left number is empty. So we finally replace that yellow, and we carry on looking at the second number, pretending that we read a 0. And by golly, it's empty too. So we write a 1, and look at that. We have a 1, 0 now. And we just copy the 0 so it goes at the after the 1. Copy whatever was left, i.e. nothing, of the second number. Copy the output and remove the yellow at the end. So 1 and 1 is 2. Okay, run all the tests. I believe. Did my game crash? No. Okay, so 3 and 1 is incorrect. That's great. I'd love to know why. When I said I believe, that was a trick. It was a prank. You can't be mad, it was a prank. Okay, so what's happening so far? We added a 1 and a 1. Why does it look like I'm about to output a 0? This isn't right. Okay, let me track more closely as we walked into the carry factory. We saw a 1 and a 1, and we dutifully copied the rest of the output, i.e. nothing. Wait. No. This is when I've concluded that the second thing... No, what? Yes. That there was only... Oh, okay, so I've just now written the end of the second number. This is like a single step, right? Yeah, okay. Here I have... Okay, I've written the end of the second number. And I'm looking at the beginning of the output, which is currently empty. I write a 0 to the beginning of the output, which seems right to me. It'll eventually be the end, but right now it's the beginning. And then I enter the carry factory. How do I do that? I copy the rest of the output, which is nothing. And I put a yellow at the end to indicate, okay, here's the end of the output. It's just 0. Now I'm in the carry factory, and I'm adding 1 and nothing. That seems correct so far. I look at the first digit. It's not empty, it's a 1. So I go up here. There are no more digits. So now I know the first number ended with 1. So I go up here. Great. And I replace the yellow that was to mark the end of the first number, which I should just call A, but I keep forgetting. And then I look at the second number. Okay, something here doesn't seem quite right. Well, I'm in the carry factory. I'm carrying a 1. I should write a 0 and go back into carry mode, right? And that's what's going to happen. I write a 0 to the beginning of the output, and I re-enter carry factory with both inputs being empty. I copy the rest of the output, which is a 0. I mark end of output. Do I have the right number of yellows on the tape? Did I lose a yellow in here somewhere? Maybe that's what's wrong. Yeah, that's what happened. Look. I read this yellow or this yellow, and I headed back here, but I didn't replace it. So am I just supposed to go here? I got to the end of the second number, B, And I should replace the marker for end of B, and then write a 0 at the beginning of output. Okay. So that's what I should have done. Run all tests again. Okay. Well, you know, it's a more complicated input this time. This time, 2 and 2 is what it took to break me. And I can believe that. So run me to here, please. We wrote a 0. We're copying nothing, which is the output. Wait. What happened to the first time through the carry loop? Okay, here. How did a 1 end up here? Okay, let's try this again. So what are we adding? These numbers are 3 and 3. So the answer should be 6, right? Which is 110. So, run me to the first time you get here. Is that the first time? Yeah, we haven't written anything to the output yet. Blue at the beginning of the output. Did I somehow lose track of a yellow again? I shouldn't have. Okay, I think I must just be forgetting to write a yellow somewhere. Oh, I wasn't far back enough. Okay, so I got this red, which I copied and replaced the yellow that it saw. I come down here, I read a red, I copy another red, and I come here and I replace the yellow. So right now I have 3 yellows. That's the right number. And like these yellows, they get here and they end up replacing the yellow they read, right? Oh, is it this one? This red? This looks wrong, right? But I don't think we're there yet. Because here we read a yellow and write just a red. And then we read another yellow and write 1 yellow. But that's on the way out of the factory. So it's okay that we break an invariant there. Because it's a loop invariant, right? Not an output invariant or something. We're done looping at that point. So this does not yet make me suspicious. We shouldn't even be entering that state anyway right now, I think. So, okay. We output a 0, and we copy the remainder of the output, which is nothing. And we re-enter, or we enter for the first time, the carry factory. So we're adding 1 and 1, but we have a carry bit. So I read a 1, and that's the end. So I replace the marker for end of A. Then I read another 1. Oh, it's here. It corresponds to this perfectly. It needs a yellow marker here. Got it. Okay, run me all the inputs again. Oh, it looks good. It looks good. It made such a big number. Okay, great. So just under 2 hours, I think, total. Plus the hour I spent drawing a diagram. I made subtle adjustments to the fusion tender's priority matrices to make them slowly ramp up their reactor's output. My first models will arrive on the moon soon, and if they work and don't get caught, their power will solve all kinds of problems here on Earth. I'm looking up, and I'm hoping. I've forgotten what the story was. Specialized robots. They make fusion reactors, but they don't output because it makes more money that way. What are we doing? Oh, we're changing their priorities to make them produce more output, I guess? Okay, I killed all you jerks. Wow, it really changed the font on this, huh? It looks fairly nice. I wish these text things were a little bit bigger. And Pleasing Fungus did say that he made the medals on the later levels very generous to just be like, look, you finished it, congratulations. As long as you didn't do something super horrific, you'll get the medals. Had the most common scanner and stamper solution. Incredibly did well on time? Look at this routing. Huh. Okay. And my area was okay. I feel reasonably certain that, like, I could make some small improvements here and there without any real work. You know, for example, this row here I don't need. Why are you showing me a hand? Just because this is the first time I've... Okay, whatever. He added this thing here to tell you if you've never seen it before. Oh yeah, you can click here. And this is the first time I've seen that screen. I had already clicked there, by the way, but sure. So... we could take this and, like... Well, for starters, we don't even have to do any funny rotating. We can just actually move it to the right. It's not, none of this space is being used for anything. And that improves area and time by a bit. $800 or less. 1,200, okay. So you get a very large limit. Okay. What other obvious improvements do I have? I'm already handling, like, duplicates of this and this, which I think are the main thing. That was maybe non-obvious. Can I shave off this bottom row? It seems like that should be easy, right? Just shift this whole part up by 1. What do I have to do here to make that happen? So if I grab this... This has to get to the pipe. And these two things have to be shifted up by 1 as well. So it kind of wants... that's maybe harder than it looks. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. We crushed the metals because they were easy metals on a hard level. Although Castle has me by just a little. It would be nice to beat him, wouldn't it? Actually, he has me on scanners and stampers, too. By 1. Nice. Congratulations. I did not think time was what I was going to win on, I'll tell you that. I never think that. Okay, let's go see what the final... Here we go. Limitless power wouldn't solve all the world's problems. It wouldn't solve hunger or unmelt the ice caps, but it was a start. Long ago, without realizing, I'd sold my soul for higher profits. My robots were just doing what I'd taught them. Yes, obviously. Today, I'd shown another way. It'd be hard, but my friends would help, and if I couldn't change society's programming, who could? Time to push some robots around. The end. Why is it telling me to click there? I don't know. Okay, so there you go. Achievement unlocked as well, second chance. Whew, so I think that's, I mean, we haven't finished all the levels. There's a couple here, like rocket scientists, and I think a couple here that I was not that excited to get to. Like, psychiatrist is, I had an idea for an implementation, but I didn't really want to grind through it, and best friend seemed hard. I don't know. So I think I'm gonna just leave those two unsolved. Is there some way that it'll tell me how many I have unsolved? I don't see such a thing. Or how many medals I'm missing? I don't know. Anyway, so I think this is the end of the Manufactoria playthrough. We solved the capstone level of Addition, which, you know, is definitely a monument. And I'm glad I had my little diagram. It definitely made things a lot simpler. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you made it this far, I hope you also played the game. I guess I don't know. I've watched you know, playthroughs of a lot of things that I didn't really want to play myself. It's sort of hard to imagine making it through the end of all of this stuff and not at least playing it yourself, but, you know, you do you, I guess. You know, watch what you want, play what you want, right? Anyway, I'll surely play more games like this one in the future if they are ever made. I guess we're done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.